Today I have the Lasko WhisperForce 18-inch DC motor pedestal fan. I've been wanting to get one of these for a while now because the AC motor versions of these fans have a problem with vibration, and I wanted to see if switching from an AC motor to a DC motor fixes the vibration problem. So hopefully, I'll put this together and we will see if that has solved that issue. So first, let's take it out of the box and put it together. Okay, so I ended up having to cut the box open. But what you get here is the 18-inch fan blade, a front guard with, I guess there's an emblem. Let me help us see. A front guard, oh yes, you do get an emblem. Front guard with an emblem, a rear guard, a extension pole, which usually comes like this, but if for whatever reason it comes in the box separated, all you do is insert the non-flanged end into the pole like this and pull like that. And then you have, looks like the remote, the rear guard ring, and the center cap, or the spinner, right here. The motor head assembly and power cord. Which comes nicely wrapped. The owner's manual, which goes over the assembly instructions and the parts as well. And the plastic base, which is not weighted. So that's what you get in the box. So after we've taken all the parts out of the box, we can put it together. So the first thing we start with is the base, and we put the base down like that, and we insert the larger end of the pole into the base, and in the base there is a plastic notch that it will click into like that, and you can adjust the height accordingly however you want. And then once you have found a height that you like, you just twist the knob. You just twist it clockwise like that until it's tight. And there is the stand assembly. So I'm going to put the stand assembly to the side and show you how to assemble the motor head and blades. So let's take the remote to the side. So mine came without an emblem, but all you have to do is find the arrow that says up, and then take the top of the badge and insert it like that, and then snap the bottom two in the front like that, and then your emblem is attached. So that's the emblem. And then as far as your guard goes, on the fan guard, there is a flat part, like a flat notch. This aligns with the notch on the motor head, like so. Like that. And then, once you align the two, you just twist this little ring like that. And your rear guard is assembled to your motor head. So once you've done that, take the fan blade. The fan blade has a notch, and the motor shaft has a metal pin inside, and you just have to line the notch up of the fan blade with the metal pin until it clicks into place like that. Then finally, you take your spinner and you turn it counterclockwise like this until it is firmly on the shaft, like that. The front guard I'm going to do on the pole because I've done this before, and it's a lot easier when you have the fan on the pole. So let me show you that, and then we can do the front guard assembly. So as far as the pole assembly goes, it's fairly simple. In the pole here, there is a small little screw that holds it in place. You just have to make sure that's lined up and then give it a good push onto the pole until it bottoms out, like that. And then your fan is assembled to the pole, just like that. Now, as far as the front guard goes, this is always my least favorite part of putting together a Lasko fan because it's not very easy to do because they're made of plastic. But the easiest way I have found is to start at the top, line up the clips, and kind of work your way around the fan head. But because it is plastic, it is very finicky. But once you get it, once you get it, the only time you have to take it off is when you have to clean the fan. So here is the completed fan at its lowest stand height and at its highest stand height. And now let me show you once again how to adjust the fan height. So all you have to do is come over to the fan, and you have to twist this collar, twist it counterclockwise until it loosens, and then adjust it to whatever height you like. And then once you've found a height that you like, twist it clockwise to tighten it. And that's it. So here's the fan fully assembled. As you can see, it's made of black plastic and has a very similar design to the Lasko Cyclones. Here is the back of the fan with the motor housing. On this particular model, the oscillation is controlled by a motor, so there's no pin on the back for the oscillation. As you can also see down here, there's a small little spot to put the remote, like that, so you can store the remote and not worry about losing it. So something else I wanted to show you as well is the full tilt back fan head that can tilt all the way back like this. Not as far back as my model 1820 does, but it'll still tilt far back enough to circulate the air in a large space. And it has a ratchet to it, so each one of these clicks is a position that you can keep the fan head in place. Just like that. So here is a close-up of the controls. You have the power button, you have the oscillation and a timer, and you have the speed control right here. So the way this 12-speed system works is the speeds are broken up into 3 different zones: 1 through 4, 4 through 8, and 8 through 12, and you can cycle through them with this dial. So let me show you that. So if you pop it up on high, which is the first setting when you turn it on, you can push and cycle through the zones just like that. So you have quiet, medium, medium high, and high. I guess would be the different zones. And then in addition to that, you can kind of dial them like that. Now with the electronic controls, there's a bit of a delay between changing the speeds and the motor changing because it is a brushless DC motor, but that's to be expected. And on the lowest setting, it is extremely quiet. So if we cycle to the next zone, which is 4, it is still very quiet. And cycle to the next zone. And the next zone. This is about as fast as the high on a normal AC motor version of this. We go down to 8. And go down to 4. Extremely quiet. And then if you want to use the timer, just push the timer button however long you would like it, and then release it when you're done. And if you don't want a timer, just go to 0 and it will automatically cancel just like that. The remote controls work a little bit differently, with the up and down arrows controlling the fan speed, the fan button controlling the 4 different zones, and the oscillation and timer work the same. And the silver button is power. Like so. So now that I have the fan assembled and I've gone over the controls, let's give the fan a demonstration. So I'm going to start it on the first setting, then go up through the speeds, show you the speeds and the airflow and the noise, and then go over the speed zones and also demonstrate the oscillation and the timer. So we'll start at the bottom with the first speed, at the beginning of the first speed zone, which is going to be 1. So it's going to start off at a higher speed to get the fan going, and then slow down to the preset speed that you've chosen. And at the first speed here, it's extremely quiet. And it's still moving air. It's not moving much air, but it's still moving air. Now we're going to do the second speed. Moving more air and still very quiet. Third speed. And finally the fourth speed. This is the end of the first speed zone and the beginning of the second speed zone. Still moving great air. Number 5. Moving a great amount of air. Still pretty quiet. And number 6. This is 50% of the way up. Also behind the camera, the pinwheel is still moving. Number 7. Now on number 7, I do notice the vibration, but it does not have the same resonance problem that the AC motor versions of these fans do. The vibration does not resonate down into the pole and the base and make an annoying noise. And number 8. This is 75% of the way. Again, the wheel is still moving behind the camera. And at 75% power, this is equivalent to the low speed on the AC motor versions of these fans. And we'll go to number 9. Which is the end of the third speed zone, or excuse me, the end of the second speed zone and the beginning of the third speed zone. Number 10. Blowing pretty hard now. Number 11. Finally, 100% power, number 12. Blowing a very nice breeze. Very strong. If I step all the way over to the other end of the room here, now I'm going to move it down to the third speed zone, which is going to be speed 8. And then at the beginning of the second speed zone, which is 4. And all the way down to the bottom, to the first speed. Extremely quiet. Now I'm going to bump it up to about halfway, which is number 6, so 50% power, and demonstrate the oscillation. oscillation is nice and smooth. It's driven by a motor instead of by the fan, so it doesn't interfere with the fan's blade speed. You put on number 7 so you can see the vibration as the fan turns. And yes, the fan is not well balanced, but it does not resonate into the base or the pole, which is a plus. So all you have to do to stop the oscillation is just press the button again. So when it comes around the corner, you can hit the button. I'll turn it all the way up to high, and then we'll watch it coast. I don't believe this fan has a startup sound, but we'll try and capture whatever remnants of that we get. So there you have it. There is the unboxing, assembly, and overview of the Lasko 18-inch WhisperForce DC brushless motor pedestal fan, model S18708 from Sam's Club. This was $50, and I highly recommend it as it's a great fan for $50. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll keep you guys cool and updated with some more fan videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So the way this 12-speed system works is the speeds are broken up into 4 different zones. 1 through 4, 4 through 8, and 8 through 12. The math is not mathing.